Hello, Sonia Hassey here, Life Purpose Coach. And in this video, I'm going to talk about how to face your fears. Now, we all know that there are so many different kinds of fears, right? Fear of height, fear of driving. I mean, there are just so many. But in today's video, I'm going to talk about a specific kind of fear. The kind of fear that holds you back because you are not speaking up. You are not in your truth. And when we are not in our truth, this is where we get held back in so many areas in our life, not only in our relationships, but even in our careers. In every area, this will affect every area of our life. And that's why it is important to talk about it. Talking about breaking those fears of not speaking up when you should. Knowing that there are things in our hearts that disturb us, but yet we say nothing. You know, what we're afraid. We have that fear of, what if this happens or what if that happens? And we get paralyzed. But what ends up happening is you, in turn, will feel regret, which is another very negative emotion. And it just does not allow us to reach our greatest potential in relationships, in our careers, in every area of our life. So we have to ask ourselves, how are we going to build our courage to speak up when we need to? Now, each and every one of us have, our wars in our head sometimes, right? And the secret suffering. We show up and we pretend things are fine when deep, deep down, we're just crying because we want to share our truth and we don't. So I want to talk about that space right there. Why do we not speak our truth? What is it? What causes us to just sit back and walk away? Oh, I don't feel good. I wish I would have been able to say this. And I totally understand. And you know what? This can go on for years because, we can make it a habit of holding back, of not speaking our truth. So therefore, now we are compounded with pain and suffering, that inner suffering, all for what? Because we are afraid of not speaking our truth. Therefore, we are incongruent with who we truly are. Because we do have convictions. We do have a heart, and we want to be able to have full expression of our truth. But sometimes we don't. So what is it? What is it for you? Why do you keep holding back? Now, again, this can be like past trauma stuff, or it can be even in a relationship that you're in right now, or it could be a boss, or it could be, a working partner. But we end up not speaking our truth. Therefore, we're kind of, in a sense, living a lie because you're not in your truth. So if you're not in your truth, then you are technically living a lie in your life, in your world. And I know that because I know what it's like to be tormented when we do not speak up. And I'm going to tell you something right now. That is the worst thing you can do for yourself. It is the worst thing. So now let's talk about what happens when we do not speak up, when we are not in our truth. We lose our power. We lose our confidence in ourselves. Because if we were truly confident and we truly had that measure of self-love and knowing who you are, you're going to speak up. Now, of course, there are ways to share our truth, and I totally understand that. I would totally analyze, your situation and step back and think, how can I do this where it is more, successful, where that if I do it in this tone or if I say it this way, then I know it's going to come out a lot better. I do believe that there are certain situations that are very, very difficult. And you're like, I don't even know how to begin to share my heart. I have shared my heart through email. I have shared my heart through writing it out. There are times where you have to do it that way because maybe the person that you're dealing with does not allow you to speak your truth or doesn't sit back and truly listen to what you are saying. So that has worked for me. So you have to find ways that are going to work for you to get your truth out. So, really process this and think about this. But the most important thing is that you are in your truth no matter what. And so just step back and think about your life. Think about your fulfillment. Think about your happiness. And what is more important for you to move forward? It is to live in your truth, to be congruent with who you are. It's vital to your happiness. It truly is. I literally just ran into a situation that I was afraid to speak my truth. I've spoken it before, but nothing's changed. And so from there, like, I'm just afraid. I'm afraid that I'm going to be a nag. I'm afraid that if I keep sharing this, that, what's the worst thing that can happen, right? Like, I was just so afraid. And I thought to myself, no, but this is who I am. And I need to set boundaries for myself. I must speak up. I must set a boundary. And I have to believe that by me speaking up, that it is going to benefit me and the whole situation, no matter what. Why? Because I was in my truth. And I can live with my truth more than I can live with the regret of not speaking my truth. And I think that's most important because it settles in your heart. You're in your truth. You're congruent with your beliefs. You're congruent with your values. And that's what's most important. So the next one is it causes anxiety. It truly does. Like, I know. I know. I was married for 25 years, and many, many, many times I have just, settled in the sense of not being in my truth. I'm like, okay, this will go away eventually. Like, this will pass, right? But we all know that it causes anxiety within us. And I shared earlier that it does give us that inner anxiety, the inner struggle, and suffering. It's not worth it for us to carry so much weight every day because we are not living our truth. We're not speaking our truth when we need to. And so I just want you to break free from that type of anxiety, that inner suffering. If you are wanting to expand and to live your life abundantly and show up in the world, and yet then this has to happen. This is kind of like deep work stuff, but I am telling you, this is the kind of stuff that a lot of people don't talk about. We talk about so many different fears, but we don't talk about the fear of, of not being able to speak up because you're so afraid, like what's going to happen. So let's just really quick talk about those things. So, the other one is we're not free inside. We're kind of in a ball and chain when we can walk out of our house every day and we're carrying this thing. It's a weight. It truly is a heavy weight. So I want to encourage you to build your courage to break free and to have the courage to speak what you have been wanting to speak for the longest time. Like, build that courage, because no matter what, on the other side is freedom. On the other side is your truth. On the other side is what is supposed to happen anyway. Okay? So if you're trying to like save a relationship of any kind, whatever's supposed to happen is gonna happen. Okay? So you might as well speak your truth. Be in your truth now and break free from that. So now let's talk about what to do. Like, how can I break free? How am I going to do this? So here it is. Number one thing, and you probably know, but I'm going to tell you, and I'm only sharing personal experience and from all the coaching I have done. You have to face your fear. You have to. You have to face your fear with shaky knees. Okay? Like, literally look at that process of what you're going to do or what you're going to say, and just believe that no matter what you speak forth is going to be the best thing for you. No matter the outcome, because that outcome was supposed to happen anyway. So if it's going to happen sooner or later, it's going to happen. But you need to be happy, and you need to be in your full expression of who you are. And that is your truth. All right, the next one is look down at your fears. Now, this has helped me a lot. I've read the book of Dale Carnegie, How to Win Friends and Influence People. And he has another book. It's called How to Stop Worrying. And this is where I got this from. And he said, when we carry such a heavy weight or we fear something, he says, don't look up at your fears, but look down at your fears. Look down as if you have control over it. And it's up to you to conquer that fear. And I love that, because I want to say, like, oh man, it must have been like 6 years ago where I literally gravitated to this and I applied it, and metaphorically looking down at all my fears and thought, okay, I can manage this, and this is how I'm going to do it. So it helped me a lot. And so I hope that this helps you as well. So, and then just work through that. Work through your fear every day. Okay, and now what's the worst thing that can happen? Is this the worst thing that can happen? Okay, now you could sit back and go, okay, I'm already prepared for maybe if that's the worst thing that can happen. Like, face it. Again, the most important thing is for you to speak your truth. Speak your truth no matter what. Be in your truth. Live your truth every single day. Every day. So what will you do if you conquered your fear? Like, what would you feel? How would you feel? And what would you where would you be in your life? Like, wow, if I just spoke my truth and conquered my fears, what would you be doing right now? I've conquered so many fears in my life. And one of the major fears that I have feared was in relationships. It truly, all working relationships, knowing how to speak my truth, even if that working relationship was gonna, dissipate. I was okay with that because I was ready to be in my truth. I was ready to be happy and to move forward and to see what other possibilities were out there for me. So, in conclusion, speak those things that are in your heart, that are disturbing you, that are not causing you peace. You wake up every day, you're living your life, but it's there. It's right there. Why? Because you are not living your truth. So imagine if you did. And see the best response. Like, have a positive attitude and believe that the best is yet to come for you. The best outcome is there for you. And I hope that this helped. But if that one thing, you might be having a situation right now where it's like, man, I've been wanting to do this for the last 5 years. I don't know, and it's like, I just got to do this. And I will tell you, it will be the most freeing thing that you can do. So I hope that you do build the courage to break free from speaking your truth. Now, I love personal development because for me personally, it brought me from being paralyzed in fear to conquering my goals, to being a speaker, to being a life purpose coach, and allowing and helping so many other people break free from their fears so they can live out their full potential. Live your full potential. You are worthy of that. Okay, so I want you to believe that you are worthy of everything you desire for yourself, because you are. And, just wait in expectation for all those possibilities that are waiting for you, because you are facing your fears. You are learning to speak up for yourself. So I would love you to subscribe to this channel and to like this channel. That would just bless me so much, because I have so much to share, so much value to give you so that you can move forward and literally conquer every freaking fear. Like, be done. Be ready to fully live your life every single day. And that is my purpose for being here and my purpose for helping you. So if you can do that, I would so appreciate it. And I will see you in the next video.